What's up, everybody? Kevin Knox's tenure in New York has undoubtedly been a roller coaster. He had a promising rookie year, averaging 13 points per game and winning the Rookie of the Month award in January. Knox was very inefficient and his defense was awful, but there was plenty of flashes that suggested a high upside. Unfortunately for Knox, his second year was a complete disaster. His numbers declined across the board, only averaging 6 points per game on 36% shooting. After the awful second year Kevin Knox had, many were ready to give him the bust label. This third year, it's critical for Knox to show his worth, especially after he regressed in his sophomore year. In preseason, Knox has showed a bunch of flashes that gives Knicks fans hope that in his third year he could bounce back. In a nice win versus the Cavs, Knox put up 16 points on a super efficient 5 of 8 shooting. He started off the game poorly, but he caught fire in the second half, which was a huge part of the Knicks coming back from 18 down. Then he followed that up with an even better game, finishing with 20 points on 7 of 10 shooting from the field. Kevin Knox has played amazing, so in this video, I'm going to break down where Knox has improved and why he could have a breakout season. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video as it really encourages the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to more people, and please subscribe as it really helps my channel grow. Now let's get started. I think the most noticeable area where Kevin Knox looks improved is his outside shooting. Coming out of Kentucky, it was assumed that Kevin Knox would be a good shooter. He has a good looking form and a high arc, which would suggest that he was destined to be a knockdown shooter. Unfortunately, through his first couple of years in the league, it simply wasn't happening. He shot 34% from 3 his first year and 33% from 3 his second year, which is both below average. But in preseason, he's been an absolute gunner. He even hit 6 or 7 from behind the three-point line in the last win versus the Cavaliers. I think a huge reason for Knox's efficiency from three-point range is shot selection. He definitely has improved as a shooter, but the fact that he's taking good open looks in the flow of the offense has increased his knockdown rate. It's not a coincidence to me that Kevin Knox's dominance from three-point range has coincided with Immanuel Quickley's high level of play. Quickley has emerged as a high-level point guard for the Knicks in preseason. He's been doing a great job of passing the ball and finding the wide open guy. Knox has been a huge beneficiary of Quickley's playmaking throughout preseason, knocking down the open looks that Quickley sets him up with at a high clip. One thing I noticed from preseason is that despite Knox's impressive numbers, he still struggles to score in isolation. When Knox is given the ball and asked to create offense for himself, he usually struggles to score. He doesn't have blow-by quickness or a good handle, so he usually ends up settling for a tough shot. But when he's set up for good looks within the flow of the offense, he's a much better scorer. Thibodeau clearly has also noticed this, which is why he said himself, when he's eliminated the tough shots, it makes him a much better player. When the regular season starts, Knox's minutes should coincide with a playmaking point guard, so he should play alongside Immanuel Quickley or Elfrid Payton all the time. He isn't Carmelo Anthony. He isn't an elite scorer you could just throw the ball to at the top of the key and ask to create offense for himself. But if he gets set up by a playmaking guard, he's going to be way more effective. Through the 4 games in preseason, Knox shot 53% from 3, which is an insane percentage. That's obviously unsustainable, but if Knox continues taking good shots throughout the season, there's no reason he shouldn't be a 40% three-point shooter. And if Knox emerges as a 40% three-point shooter, that'll do wonders for the Knicks' spacing and keep Knox in the league for a long time. Another area where I've noticed Knox has really played well in is in transition. Last year, the Knicks ranked 29th in fast break points per game and 23rd the year before. This season, Thibodeau is putting an emphasis on getting out in transition since the roster is filled with young athletic guys. Knox has taken full advantage of this offense because several times a game, we've seen Knox score on the fast break. He can quickly run down the court on the break to catch an alley-oop, and he can even bring the ball after catching a rebound and score the ball himself or pass it to a teammate for an assist. Knox should continue hustling down the court because his body is tailor-made for this type of offensive system. It'll be much better for the team, and it'll make Knox a much more efficient scorer if he gets a lot of easy baskets in transition rather than trying to create for himself. If Knox continues to play in this manner, I think he could be an excellent scorer for the Knicks off the bench. Knox needs to limit his isolation attempts and simply focus on running hard in transition, moving without the basketball, and capitalizing off the open looks he gets. He could easily average an efficient 15 points per game off the bench if he plays in this way. It was great to see Knox dominate in preseason, but to be fair, Knox has to do this against a high level of competition for us to really believe the hype, but his improved play should give him some much needed confidence. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. What do you think of Kevin Knox? Is he on his way to having a breakout year? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like and sub and enjoy the rest of your day.